Welcome everyone, I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that all of the film has been watched and all of the grades are in, it's time for the FBGP Scouting NFL Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. Before we get started with our rankings, here's how we gather our grades and what they actually mean. First, we watch a minimum of 3 full games on a prospect, his best game, his worst game, and the best possible matchup. And second, we grade on 15 key points specific to the position to equal 100 points in total. Now here's what the grades you'll see by a prospect name will actually mean. Prospects that have earned grades in the 90s graded out as potential future NFL All-Pros. Prospects in the 80s are considered future Pro Bowl players. Grades in the 70s represent solid NFL starters, and grades in the 60s are players that we believe are spot starters or situational starters in the NFL. And if you notice, we don't use the word reserve or backup because we personally feel as though there's no such thing as backups in the NFL, only starters in waiting. So without further ado, let's kick off our rankings by taking a look at our top 10. Breaking down our tight end prospects into 3 different categories: inline, H-back, and flex prospects, the top 10 of our inline prospects are definitely star-studded. Jeremy Sprinkle of Arkansas, to me, plays a lot like former Atlanta Falcon tight end Algie Crumpler. He's good on both ends of offense as a blocker as well as a receiver. Eric Saubert of Drake was outstanding all week long in St. Petersburg during the East-West Shrine Game practices, so much so that he received a late call-up to the Senior Bowl the following week. Scott Orndorff out of Pitt is a throwback, no-nonsense tight end, very good run blocker with underrated receiving skills. He was another Shrine Game standout as well. And George Kittle out of Iowa tested well athletically at the NFL Scouting Combine, has very good blocking skills on film. You'll like to see him find that level of consistency to his game, similar to Taylor McNamara out of USC. Good skills, but consistency is going to be key for him moving forward. Michael Roberts of Toledo is a good, viable option inside the red zone. He has above average skills in the blocking department and can be utilized as an H-back as well. And I would also keep an eye on Jonathan Dorsey out of Alabama A&M. He's 6'6", 225, and you can tell that his frame still can add about 30 to 40 pounds without him losing his tremendous athleticism. Jordan Leggett graded out as the #1 inline tight end prospect this year. He edged out O.J. Howard out of Alabama by ½ a point. His blocking, I feel as though, has been criminally underrated throughout the course of his Tigers career. He can execute all the blocks you need him to do at a very high level. Now, as a receiver, he's clutch, he's consistent, and shows above average ability after the catch. Against Alabama, Florida State, Boston College, and Louisville, just to name a few, he was able to break the game open with this play. O.J. Howard has been as advertised since stepping foot on campus, probably the most criminally underutilized tight end in college football. He is a legit game breaker that is dynamic with the football in his hands and has that next level burst that threatens a defense. It seems as if every time the Crimson Tide needed a big play in the passing game, they went to number 88 and he was able to pay dividends. What makes him a complete tight end is his ability to block. As you see here, Howard executes this block flawlessly, putting the defender in the ground, helping spring the touchdown run in the process. Mason Schreck of Buffalo has great run after the catch skills. He has really soft hands and catches the ball like a wide receiver. He's also very strong at the catch point as well. He's solid in the run blocking department with room to grow, showing the ability to shock initially on base blocks. He blossomed as a senior as he definitely maximized his opportunities for the Bulls. Obviously, he shines as a receiver, but I believe it's his blocking ability and functional strength that's being underrated and remains untapped potential. It also is where he has the biggest potential to grow as an inline player in the NFL. I'm a big fan of Hayden Plinke's game. UTEP is a pro-style offense and uses Plinke. How do you see teams in the NFL use their tight ends? Their running back Aaron Jones is a tremendous talent and has a really good fullback and tight end helping pave the way. In the receiving department, where Plinke makes his money is with his run after the catch skills. He catches the ball and immediately gets upfield, and a lot of times you'll see him be able to smoothly weave his way through traffic for a big gain. As a savvy short to intermediate route runner, Plinke will be able to find himself open for his quarterback more often than not. North of the border is where you find another gem in his draft class. That's Anthony Auclair of Laval. Auclair is 6'5", 256 and does a great job on both ends of offense. He was in attendance at the East-West Shrine game and was also a standout. What's impressive about his game is how he was able to quickly adapt to the competition in St. Pete. He was able to show strength in his blocking, which is exactly what you saw on film from him at Laval, and also playing in Canada. His receiving skills from a route running perspective and a savviness perspective was a little bit more developed than what you see in the States. I think Auclair definitely raised his stock and some eyebrows this past January and could more than hold his own, along the line of scrimmage in the NFL. Jake Butt out of Michigan's game reminds me a lot of Jared Cook. Butt epitomizes solid. He's a dependable receiving option that runs great routes. Now, he'll be coming off an ACL injury that he suffered in the bowl game this past January, but he has the skill set to be able to be a featured option or a strong number 2 option in a team's passing attack. Functional strength is where you have some concerns about him on base blocks, but as far as down blocks and washing defenders out of the way, I believe he does that very well. Hopefully, he's able to get back on the field in 2018 and not lose his burst and suddenness that made him a special prospect throughout the course of his Michigan career. So that's a wrap for our 2017 FBGP Scouting Draft Prospect Preview presented by Crossover. To see more of our individual scouting reports, follow us on Twitter at FBGP Scouting and bookmark the page footballgameplan.com/FBGP Scouting. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can get all of our scouting videos, mock drafts, pro day videos, and interviews with NFL draft prospects. And one more thing, subscribe to us on iTunes under Football Game Plan Podcast.